What's going on, guys? My name's Cliff, and this is Higher Education's podcast.
Did you ever press record on that?
Yeah,
that's what the square is.
It's right there. The red button means it's not recording.
Yeah, that thing right there.
Today I'm joined by a lovely cast of people. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Brian.
There we go. So I wouldn't start.
I'm May.
I'm X.
You gotta be louder.
I'm X. Hi.
You were cute.
What's going on, guys? How's your week been?
Sixers lost last week, man. I was salty as fuck.
How's this week been? I didn't say we'll talk about the Sixers
Okay,
loss.
Fine.
The only person I've seen in the past week is him yesterday.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty weird week.
Yeah, same here, man. But, you know.
I was about to say,
I'll be all right.
actually getting into this.
I'll be alright. This is not a time, not on your podcast.
I was like, I'm waiting for us to breeze over this. Like, oh yeah, we're good.
No, I was expecting like, oh yeah, it was a cool week. Yeah, interesting week. Maybe like a story you guys wanted to tell from the week, but
Ooh,
no?
definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be alright.
Anything that made you cry this week? That wasn't the Sixers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My life.
Yeah. Literally just that.
Wow.
A toddler told me I had a big butt on Monday.
Was he white?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that black toddler would have been like, it's alright. It's the black butt. You know what? I don't even want to talk about that.
You judging the butt right now?
I was talking about the predispositions for, we're
Children.
used to big butts, but then white kids are like, oh, that's a bit. You see, that's why I didn't want to get into it, because
That's fair. That's fair.
I want to go back to things that made me cry.
Yeah, fam.
Because on Mother's Day, Kawhi Leonard hit a crazy shot over Joel Embiid.
I didn't even watch Game of Thrones that night because of that shit, man. It pissed me off so much.
I had to watch Game of Thrones. I was out for Mother's Day, and we went to this place called The Main Event, which is like it's in Delaware. So you probably
Yeah,
know it.
David Buster's a bowling.
Yeah.
So I was at the
chill.
bar watching the game. Everyone was into it. Kawhi hit the shot. Bartender threw a glass up in the air and shattered it. He goes, "I can do that. I'm the bartender."
I'm gonna pay for it, nigga.
Yeah. So then I was
It's crazy because everything just stopped when it went there.
it bounced for so long.
Yeah.
The double doink giveth, the double doink takes away. I'm not an Eagles fan, so I can make that joke.
How about you shut that shit up?
But
But it was great.
just like Joel, I felt like crying too, because I don't know if you guys know, but Joel basically left into the locker room crying. Before that, he walked around the court and he dapped up everybody.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol was the
Respect.
first one to talk to him and be like, "Keep your head up, big guy." Like,
Respect.
yeah.
I was about to say,
The game came down to the wire, fam. They couldn't have been a better.
I'm saying,
he didn't go to the
Embiid-
locker room as soon as the game was over,
No,
like Tom Brady.
hey, some players do that. They're gonna meet up later. Why does it matter?
It's just a sign of respect.
Then why
That's
were you
like
giving
sportsmanship.
props?
Why were you giving props for
Sportsmanship,
dapping
fam.
people up?
Here's why I give Joel Embiid props. All right, he
doesn't give
wanted
it to Tom Brady because Tom Brady's his quarterback.
No, Tom Brady gets all the props. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Here's why.
I'm
No,
talking
he
about you're not
doesn't
gonna
give
give
the
him the shit.
Here's why I give the props to Joel, because it's one thing to shake hands when you win. All right, when you lose and you feel like you just want to go back to the locker room and cry. And I'm not saying you shouldn't cry, but I feel like Tom Brady wouldn't cry. He would just be like, "This is just gonna burn my fire harder." So when Joel, I see
I
that
think he was like, "Yo, give me my rub down guy. my quads are a little stiff. Give me a banana
the
and my rub
loss,
down guy."
I guess, but no. My point is though, I feel like with Joel, like he was devastated. He wanted to just leave and cry, but he didn't. He dapped everybody up.
I mean, yeah, that's respect.
And then he went into the locker room, and I'm not gonna lie, he got an ugly cry.
Bold.
That's the only reason I laugh is because he has an ugly cry, and that shit geek. But like, it also was like, I feel him. He went in the locker room. Him and his girlfriend had a cry.
Yeah, man.
I was like, that's cute. You're like twice the size of her, but that's cute.
It's a ball player.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. So, basically, we had a 9-year-old girl named Olivia write a letter to Joel Embiid that I'm gonna read. It's a quick letter. Don't like it. Yeah, she's 9, so it's not like paragraphs long. So she writes him. She says, "Dear Joel Embiid, you are my favorite basketball player. I'm sorry that you lost. I saw you crying on TV. It's okay to lose sometimes. I lost basketball games too. You got so far, and I'm proud of you and the 76ers. Your fan, Olivia DeJamos." So I thought that was all cute. Yeah, what's your question?
Is it Joel or Joel?
Probably Joel.
Because Joel
He's from
seems,
Cameroon, dude.
I was gonna say, Joel seems too white into a
like Joel Osment. Yeah. So, Joel. It doesn't matter though. It's not like Nerlens Noel.
No.
But yeah, I thought that was cool. One person who didn't think it was cool though was what's his name? Seth Joyner. He basically tweeted at Embiid, and the gist of what he said was like, "Yo, I understand why you was crying, but you ain't got to do that in front of the cameras. You like take that back to the locker room."
What?
And he writes for like Philadelphia Sports, and I was like, "Nigga,
Homie.
shut that shit up.
Homie.
You cry wherever you want."
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, that was
Thank you.
tied 90-90, 4 seconds left,
Talk about
no timeouts
Jimmy
left.
Butler hit that layup
like,
too.
Seriously,
Yes,
man.
bro.
Yes.
Seriously, bro.
That whole
Yo, when he
lead-up
missed the
was-
second foul, from when he missed the second
Yes.
foul shot to Jimmy running down the court, dude, I was going, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They had their eyes set on overtime.
Yeah.
and
No,
taking
I
it.
They
was
knew what
like,
was going
I
on.
like,
Same.
"Alright, let's get overtime."
Same.
And then I just was like,
Yeah.
Kawhi
Just
Leonard.
dude, I
And
just
that's the
dropped-
first time
I
he
just
showed
dropped to my
emotion
knees,
too.
man.
He was like,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Because, dude, I'm pretty sure he called game when he threw the ball up, too.
Probably did. Hey, Kawhi Leonard, 2 points in that loss, game 1 against the Bucks. Well, no, 2 points in the fourth quarter.
Amazing
He had, like,
player.
he had, like,
so
30
I'm not
points
going to be
the
a
whole game.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm
2
not going to be a
points in the
sore
fourth
loser,
quarter.
but fan.
No, fuck that. Bucks about to wash the Raptors. I'll say it right here. Fuck you, Kawhi. I hope you go to the Lakers. Get out of the East.
they're going to have a
Go play
dream
with
team on the
LeBron.
Lakers.
Go play with LeBron.
They can fight the Warriors to go to the finals.
Yeah.
We'll never have to see them unless they
And
go to the
plus,
finals.
you know, whoever gets to the finals at that point with that team, yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. So on Wednesday, Joel Embiid changed his Twitter profile pic
Yeah.
to him crying, and it's great.
It's hilarious,
It's
dude.
great. And he
Yeah,
did.
because fuck him, that's why, man.
Because
It's
Joel Embiid,
okay to show
people
emotion.
were saying Joel Embiid's like the biggest troll, and they're like, well, you can troll it, but when it's time for you to take your turn, you got to take your turn.
Yeah.
And Joel was like, all right, bet, yeah, my turn.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he did that as more of like a masculinity thing? Like, hey man, like you can cry, but just do it in private so no one sees, you know? Or is it the analyst like who's criticizing him for crying on TV? Do
Yeah,
you think
I mean,
it was
the analyst
like
literally said, his tweet was, when you pour your soul into something you do and come up short, I understand the emotions. But come on, crying publicly on your opponent and your girlfriend's shoulder, that's a bit much. Cry in the locker room or home. The world doesn't have to witness your tears to know you care. JMO. I don't know what JMO stands
just my
for.
opinion?
Oh. I was like, what acronym is that?
I was about to say,
Like
I've never heard it said JMO. I've always
Yeah,
heard IMO.
IMO.
Yeah, but just by
So-
that's fair.
Embiid tweeted, hell of a season. I'm proud of my guys, and I appreciate all the support you guys gave us all season long. Extremely disappointed that I fell short of our goal, but this is the motivation I needed, and best believe I'll be back and better and stronger. Because he all caps.
Trust the
Hashtag the process.
Oh.
So yeah. I did
Yeah.
think one thing that was really cool about the Raptors win, if there is a cool thing about it, is that... Alright, so which player is it? Oh.
Kyle.
I can't remember which player it is, but there are 3 different languages spoken.
That's
and
dope.
Paul Siakam speaks both of them.
That's
So,
dope.
He was
Mark
speaking...
speaks Spanish.
Yeah, and the other one speaks French. So I forget which player it was, but they're at one point speaking Spanish when Gasol trying to guard Joel Embiid, and then speaking French with the other guy because Joel speaks French.
Yeah.
So whenever Marc Gasol was guarding him, they would speak Spanish together.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Does Joel also speak Spanish?
No.
I was about to say,
it's one of
Spanish
the
is
5
pretty
languages.
similar to, like, all Latin-based languages are relatively similar to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope though.
Yeah.
I never
It's good strategy.
Yeah. You never really stop and think though, like how diverse the NBA could actually be.
Oh, the NBA is so
like it's
diverse.
fucking nuts.
It's not only
Niggas
that,
on their
too.
same team.
But, like, having the ability to speak another language that the other opponents don't understand at all means that you can have so
Got a
much
leg up,
open
fam.
communications. Like, it's not like grunts or, like, points. It's like, hey, give me the ball. I'm gonna go do this
I'm gonna
thing.
go this way.
Like-
Like, people don't even understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing though. Like, just shows how language barriers can, I guess, can be good sometimes, but not always.
Only in rare instances.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that make me cry, I want to talk about...
You didn't tell me we were.
Michigan. Michigan, Alabama, and Georgia.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about that too, and I could do a whole episode talking about that because that also does make me cry. And I stand with women. I'll say that. I'll also say fuck those states and any other states thinking about it. Yeah, it's wrong. It should be what it is. You're not really. I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I already eliminate so many people by being like, yeah, fuck white people.
No.
Yeah, like fuck racist people. So, but no, fuck ignorant people and fuck lawmakers in Alabama, Ohio, and Michigan, and whichever other states
Georgia.
assigned to Georgia too.
Yeah.
Damn, Bama and Georgia.
Yeah.
How many other southern states we gonna get?
Probably gonna
Have
get
you seen the thing that
Mississippi
says-
next.
that
Because they're gonna
says,
try and
Louisiana.
challenge Roe versus Wade.
Arkansas.
Alabama
like the
sucks so
Supreme
hard
Court,
they
man.
All
literally
right,
have
it's
to
fucked
torture
up.
people
I'm really
doing
sorry. I
it.
always forget Arkansas is a state.
Come on, man. I always remember the Little Rock 9, fam. Little Rock 9.
There's a creek named after my family there. There's actually a town named after my family there.
Negro Baron Road.
Jesus,
place.
no! That ain't the name of the road.
I said is a place, not that place.
It was
It's a
great.
place. All right. So anyway, speaking of things that make me cry, did you guys hear about Stan Lee being abused by his manager or ex-manager?
No.
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. So apparently Stan Lee and his ex-manager, this nigga's name is, what's this nigga's name?
We're very well researched here.
Yes,
So this
fine.
nigga's name is Kia Morgan. Kia Morgan. So
Like the car?
Kia. Oh yeah, Kia. But it's like
Kia.
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 So yeah, Morgan was in charge of Stan Lee's. Basically, was his ex-manager. This dude was like a memorabilia collector. So Stan Lee was like, he knows his comics.
Right.
He's been
Hired
accused
embezzlement,
of embezzlement, being accused of elderly abuse, and it like states back to he called 911 and reported a break-in, and they reported a false police report because it was like, whatever, not CPS, social services, and the police checking on Stanley's welfare.
Yeah.
So they're not breaking in; they're there.
They were
to,
there. But if it's not like something that Stan Lee knew about, if it wasn't something that Stan Lee knew about, then it's kind of like, at least, at
Yeah,
the
but
very
like-
least, like weird in a way.
But here's the thing: is why did he do it? You can only assume malintent. The reason is because he wanted something out of the house.
yeah,
And
he didn't
he-
want them to be there.
Yeah,
He's like, I mean, or it's
Or
as
like if
simple
you
as
file
I
a-
am abusing him, and I don't want you to be here to see that, so I'm calling the police on you.
Yeah.
Well, like he's Stan Lee. Imagine how much memorabilia and like original Stan Lee has. If you,
Yeah.
if you
Well,
say
that's why he's being charged with embezzlement, 1 felony count of false imprisonment, 3 felony counts of theft, embezzlement, forgery, and fraud of an elder,
That's-
and a misdemeanor of elderly abuse.
yeah, no.
Just using them for his comics and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you file a police report, you can say that shit went
Yeah.
missing,
Yep.
and he can just steal the shit, and
Yep.
then
He's like,
you know,
oh yeah, he took this and this. Yep. It's fucked
like
up.
how many like original comics do you think Stan Lee fucking owns?
Oh, what?
Like
So
the
many.
Stan Lee.
Yeah,
Like he owns
fucking
every one of
nuts.
his
Oh,
original comics. That's what I'm
Nuts,
saying.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Like he, it's him. So
It's just unfortunate, too, because, like, it's Stan Lee. You would think if you are a memorabilia collector, you're not doing it just for the money. You're doing it because you like the comics. And I guess this dude just liked the money. So,
fucking asshole, man.
yeah, fuck that guy.
How you do that to Stan Lee though? Come on now.
That's really that big.
Like, I mean, I don't know him personally, so I can't really speak to his character. So.
Stan Lee's that nigga, though.
All right. What?
I saw a picture of
What are you-
Thanos,
what are you
and
doing with
Thanos.
your life?
Huh?
Can't just ask. Fuck him.
I saw a picture of Thanos, and he snapped Stan Lee back, and he was like, "Thank you." And I was like, "Y'all really gonna make one of these with Thanos?"
What's wrong with you people?
Looks like a mass murderer.
Well,
That Stan Lee created.
the worst part is he's not just a mass murderer one time. He murdered so many people just so that he could murder a bunch of people.
It's crazy that like I really did dig seeing Thanos.
Seriously.
I dug seeing Thanos bring his entire army with him in Endgame because I was like, damn, that's what he was fitting to do in Avengers, the first John.
Yeah.
Tony was just like, nuke. But he was fitting it. That was like the first scale invasion. Then he was like, I'm gonna bring the other niggas down, and we just gonna roll.
But here's what I'm saying: if Thanos' army got killed, then how did Thanos take the stones?
What do you mean?
Like, the Thanos that came in Endgame, happened before he had all the stones.
Yeah,
and he died.
Yeah,
right.
Different timelines.
So how did before he got the stone,
and he never goes back.
And he never goes
the movie
back.
has some weird timeline.
It does. It does.
That's why, like,
it does.
I'm gonna put out a video
Is this Days
on my
of Future
review.
Past all over again?
Well, okay, so it's like it actually was like Dragon Ball Z timeline, how it works. So it's weird and it's funky. And in my review, I want to talk about how that's one of the reasons why Infinity War just makes more sense and is low key a better movie. Like if I had to rate Infinity War 9 out of 10, Endgame would probably be like 8.7 to 8.9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. Endgame definitely felt like, because
it's just a hard movie to rate because it feels more like this is a love letter for our characters and for our fans. So I'm going to give you this, and it's going to be a lot of fan service that you want. Actually, Endgame is a really good example of doing fan service that fans want and need, and not like Game of Thrones. But we'll get into that later. We will get into that later. So I want to talk about a girl that Stan Lee could have used, because she would have helped this nigga out, because she does what's right. There's an 11-year-old girl that is fighting against Nazis and other kids using a Nazi symbol. So this dude was tweeting about how his daughter's at school and the school's doing like a play on history. And so the teacher elected one of the kids to play Hitler. And the kid has to do the Sieg Heil. And because the kid was doing it, other kids saw that and they were doing the movement behind her.
Behind 11.
And this girl was like, stop that. And the teacher was like trying to settle her down, and she was like, every time the kids did it, she was like, stop that. So they sent her out the room, and they were like, you gotta chill out. And she was like, what?
What do you mean?
No, that's wrong. Stop.
What do you mean?
And so they sent it to the print. They're like, we're gonna call your mom and tell her. And she was like, all right, yeah, let's tell her.
It's fine.
Called the mom. Mom told the father, because the father's tweeting all this. It's like a whole big thread.
Yeah.
And so basically, the teacher sends like a long email or text. And it's like, your daughter was disruptive, and every time I told her to stop, she just kept disrupting me. So this is why she was sent out to class.
Okay.
And parents were like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So after the play, they give awards, and the kid who played Hitler won an award. And when he won an award, kids were doing the Sieg Heil. And then the girl won an award, and she basically said, I don't have her quotes. But she won the award, and she was just like, I'm not just going to stop feeling this way because you're telling me to. You know, I'm going to keep doing and saying against things that are wrong. And I butchered what she said, but it couldn't have been much better because she's 11. So we're just going to go with that. But she did the right thing.
Facts.
And, yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. A
Yeah,
lot of the
it's
shit we're talking about
awesome.
today is kind of
Sad.
sad.
Yeah.
So, like, I wanted
Yeah.
to put that here. I had it
There's
at
a
the
little bit
end,
of
and I was
lighthearted
like, no,
news.
let's move that up in the middle.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, standing up for something that you believe
it's
in
just
at
fucked
such a
that
young
this-
age, it's awesome, and it's
Fuck that
100%
the school's
fucked.
not like.
No, yeah, that's the fucked
No,
part.
Where
I
the
thought
fuck
the
was this?
principal was on her side.
So and the officials were like, yeah, we're on your side, and they even investigated, but they investigated, and they were like, you're right, there were two kids, and they were Sieg Heiling when they weren't supposed to, and I was like, you had to investigate?
I read that they
Nigga,
started
like,
doing,
what do you? She just told you what happened.
I read
like,
that they started doing it
Speak
like.
up.
I read that they started doing it elsewhere in the school too, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like just in the class. Like they were doing it like in lunch and like in
Right,
other classrooms and
They got
everything
him on
like that.
camera,
And
just
Right,
like
right.
fucking
Well,
Nazi
so, like,
saluting.
I don't think it was like that. I think when they say they investigated, they mean they like talked to the other teachers and they're like, yeah, these shits were doing that in my class.
I still feel like it should be the teacher going
That
to the
first
principal.
teacher,
Yeah.
yeah. That
Like,
first
why-
teacher should
why
be like
isn't the-
reprimanded for not fucking giving a shit.
yeah, why isn't the teacher that first one like standing up for the girl instead of like the fucking kids, like the fucking little shits in her class?
Because bad teacher.
Yeah.
Ultimately, teaching's a job. There are good coworkers, bad coworkers. Bad coworker.
Big facts.
I did that for you guys.
So what you talking about?
If I could give this little girl an award, I would give her the Very Awesome Person Award. Right? You guys agree with that? As corny as it is? Because while I'm giving out
The map
awards and
award?
shit,
You give her the map award.
give her
fam?
the...
Give her the map award.
What's that?
That's what you just said.
No.
Very
the
awesome
VAP award.
Yeah, she gets the VAP award. Very awesome person. And since I'm giving out
The
awards,
most awesome person. VAP award.
these niggas, oh my god, they get the Walking Dead award for ruining my favorite show.
They Walking Dead-ed us.
They Walking Dead.
They Walking Dead-ed us.
I'm talking about David Benoff and DB Wise Walking Dead-ed us. And it's not just us, all right? There's so many people that have complaints with season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
And it's because it's rushed, right?
Yeah.
Even Amelia
Yeah.
Clark and fucking Kit Harington are on camera. When people ask them about the final season, they're like, yeah, it's gonna be shit. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's awful. They poured over a decade into this work. And I'm not going to be wrong. I'm not going to sit here and give all these complaints like I'm like this and that and fuck the show because I'm still somewhat of a fanboy of the show and I still enjoy what I'm seeing on screen because what DB Wise and David Benoff do really well is directing. You know, they're really good at showing you things on screen visually and they're really good at conveying a message they want to get to you. What I don't think they're good at is narrative building.
True.
Right? Because right now what they're working off of is just plot points George R.R. Martin has given them.
Yep.
It's just so fucking rushed. And it makes me so upset.
That's it, man. I was thinking this earlier. I just feel like the Night King and like the war and everything was just so unnecessary.
Well, here's the thing. I think I like... It's one of George R.R. Martin's plot points. And I did a whole video on Daenerys being the Mad Queen. And George R.R. Martin... Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. I'll spark that later. So George R. R. Martin is on record saying that, you know, Dany and her dragons are as much of a threat to Westeros.
You trying to tell us something?
Dany is my daddy. What?
Amelia Clark, you out there?
Amelia, daddy. So Dany,
You're out there.
George R. R. Martin said
let you
that
be the dominant one.
Dany is basically as much of a threat to Westeros as the White Walkers are. So I do agree with them being
War.
I do agree with them being an equal
Till Arya
threat,
came
but
in.
I do think that if we got 2 full seasons, right?
Yeah,
And so we have the Long Night and the season 7,
sure.
right? Maybe we make that episode 9 and episode 10. And then we have the Battle of Winterfell all the way at the end of season 8. We have a whole season to watch her go crazy instead of 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I think that makes way more
Now,
sense.
it just seems like they're just trying to finish it.
It's rushed.
Yeah. They're like, we're done with this.
It's really funny too because there are some people started a fucking change petition.
Change.org.
They basically want them to redo the season.
Yeah.
Give us more than 6
Sign a
episodes.
petition.
Yeah,
Get the
redo the
fuck outta
season. Just wake up. Just the season 9 is Brad's eyes open up after the Night King gets killed. And
Yep.
like,
And he's like, guys.
So,
Some
how
shit's
many
about
people
to
do
go
you think
down.
have signed this petition?
How many people watch Game of Thrones?
like 100,000 maybe.
a couple million, like 4 or 5.
All right, well, you were closer. You're still low, but that's high.
Like
There's a
2,
change.org petition.
343,000.
Yeah,
Damn.
true.
Hella people.
Damn.
Yeah, I wish you would have gone. I wish you would have gone.
No, because I mean, like, that's
That
fair,
sounds
though.
like nothing.
No, but it is a petition. I'm thinking, like, I was thinking,
That's still hella.
You think
people.
they actually
that's a
vote?
lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
People like,
I think
we're
it's
doing
hella
this.
entitled people. You about to give the money to film this new season? All the
No.
money we just
That's
spent
just
on
a
this?
petition.
All the money they just made
Just fucking
on
for
us
nothing.
fucking watching it.
Seriously.
They're also going to make more money on us watching it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So do that shit.
You want to give them more money to give them more money.
They're also probably making money off of their name being used in all these articles about how much the season sucks.
Yeah. George R. R. Martin definitely is.
George is just like,
He
I
back
can't
there
wait to my
plotting.
books.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Maybe
make the
I'll
last
watch
book.
sell.
Because he goes, fuck 2. I'm gonna make the last book 3.
He's got 2 more books he needs to write, which is like, nigga, he said something where he was like, the Game of Thrones spinoffs are coming along perfectly, and I was like, 1, I don't trust you for shit on the timeline. That's first. 2,
a little bit.
why are you working on nigga? If you don't get your ass in your writer studio and get me 2 books, please.
I want a mini series that's just the fat kid who cooks
I'm gonna get
hot pie.
Oh, Hopper. He's still chilling.
He's like the only character who's not involved in anything.
I want to get a Robert's Rebellion. Not even Robert's Rebellion, because I feel like we've heard enough about that. I would like that. I'm gonna say that. I would like to see Aegon conquering Westeros, though. I watched the whole video on Aegon when he conquered Westeros.
Yeah, with his sisters.
Westeros was like 7 tribes that were warring for like, they were like, oh, like we're all want to rule. And over in Valyria, this nigga Aegon was sitting with his sister wives and their dragons. Sister wives, yeah.
Sister wives.
You know.
And they was like, I want to go be king of all that shit.
Yeah.
And so he gets to Westeros, and like the way his battles go is he'll come in, soldiers will win a little bit, but then his soldiers will take a drawback, and then he just comes in with dragons. And no one has an answer for the dragons.
No.
But it's also really cool because when he gets to Westeros, he like, when the first place he takes over, he's like, yo, listen, like, join me, and you guys can keep all your land and your titles. And when they do that, he makes a banner, because the Targaryens didn't really have a banner, but he's like, I'm going to be here, and I want to embrace their ways, so they actually recognize me as a king.
Right.
And so they go,
Dragon.
he is worthy. Which in my head, I'm like, they were like, nigga, he has dragons.
Yeah, why are we trusting
Fuck
me?
worthy. It's like,
I don't care.
So he starts taking over places. One of his sisters rides around with this nigga named Baratheon. They go down to Stormborn, or whatever the fuck where the Baratheons are from, and they take over that, and then the Baratheons, that's where their line comes from. It chills over there.
Yeah.
Wait, what did Dany just make Gendry king of? Because that's where the Baratheons are from. That's why she did that. That's what.
Storm Garden.
Storm Gardens.
Whatever it was.
Like that.
That's
Harrenhal
where,
Hall is the hall.
Okay, so that's what I want to get to. Harrenhal is, if you remember back where Arya was kept in that little slave place that was melted.
Yep.
Okay, so basically the dude that used to rule Harrenhal owned like all that area and also the Iron Islands, and he was like something the Black. And he had this big ass tower, and the dragon flies. He like Aegon goes, and he's like, "Yo, listen."
No,
like,
Harren.
What? Harrenhal.
Yeah, his name is Harren.
Harren the Black. Harren the Black, probably, yeah.
All I'm saying is because he goes, Harren and all of his sons thought that he was fine in this castle with all these walls because it was protected from...
Alright, so basically, yeah, Harren the Black. Aegon flies over, and Aegon's like, yo, like, I'm going to let you keep your lands, you can keep your heirs, you can keep your family, just get in your boats and go to the Iron Islands and call me your king. And Harren's like, no, like, this is my spot. You will never get over these walls. Or, yeah, this is my spot. You'll never get over these walls.
Look at this castle. It's huge. You can't fuck with it. Fuck
Get out of here,
like,
bitch.
I have dragons. Dragons fly. And Harren's like,
They will burn this shit to the...
like, you'll never melt my thing. It's all brick and stone. And I was like, what? So, and Aegon's a really cool dude because he waits like a couple, like to the next day, but then he comes back and just burns it and melts it to the ground, and that's where he like posted up. And then he basically goes and he conquers almost all of Westeros. He can't fuck with Dorne. He sends his sister to Dorne, and at that time Dorne was ruled by this old fat lady, and they go in, and she's like, yo, like, well, she first gets to Dorne, and there's no one there, right? What? There's no one in Dorne except for women and children, and she finds a fat lady who's in charge, and she's like really old and really fat, and the chick's like, where's everyone at? The fat lady's like, listen, like, I won't fight you, but I also won't submit to you, so as long as you guys keep attacking, we'll attack you. Yeah. So she's like, all right, whatever, leaves on her dragon. The soldiers in Dorne hid in the mountains, so they basically used guerrilla warfare. Aegon never conquered Dorne. And 10 years later, his sister went back to Dorne, and at that point, they got a lucky shot and shot her dragon in the eye with a scorpion, and they both plummeted to the ground and died. And the only time Dorne became a part of Westeros is through marriage. They basically had a political pact because he couldn't do shit with Dorne. They weren't fucking with Dorne. I mean, Dorne ran to the mountains and guerrilla warfare. Which is funny. That's how you just win wars, right? You just go, when they come to you just go to the mountains. That's what Afghan did.
Jahadas.
I'm in the mountains. You gonna burn me around the mountains?
You're gonna burn the mountains. You can't think I can't go into the mountains?
But they didn't even know.
Think of mountains as like the no man's land?
I think Dorne stayed independent for a while, and it was because of those mountains. So they
all I'm saying is if Valyria was so powerful and so almighty.
I didn't watch the video yet on how Valyria fell. That'll be on next time.
It exploded.
Next time.
Yeah, that'll be on next time. I'm watching a lot of lore just because that's how upset I am with the season. And these niggas, David Benoff and D.B. Wise, are about to write Star Wars. So after Rise of the Skywalker, Disney officially announced that they're going to be set for a 2022 project. And I want to throw hands with these niggas. See me with the hands? Because, like, I don't want you to write Star Wars. I don't trust in this shit at all.
I mean,
It's
it
just gonna
depends.
be
Is
rushed.
it a one-off movie or
That's
is
the
it like
thing.
a
They're
setup?
talking
Because
about
if
a
it's setup,
series.
I want to
They're
see.
talking about a
3PO
series,
movie.
but they've only officially said they're working on one movie. So I don't know if it is a one-off or it's a beginning of the series.
Because if it's the beginning, it'll be fine.
God,
What, a back-to-back series like this?
I think
I don't
I
want them to
want
have
Star
a
Wars to chill for a little bit.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, same.
We
No,
gotta let
I'm
it
saying that the
2022 is
writing
like
will
3
be
years.
fine
Let it
because the
breathe.
beginning of Game of Thrones was like.
Well, here's
Well,
the
the
thing
beginning
too.
of Game
The
of Thrones was
beginning-
written by George
like
R.
the
R.
first
Martin.
4 seasons had books to go off of, and the last 4 seasons have not.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because when you came in here and you're watching season 4, I asked you that question of have you noticed the writing going down, because season 4 is probably one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah.
And a lot that's actually like a polarizing area where people think season 4 started to go downhill, and then season 5 and 6 and the rest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. it
When
is what
did
it is.
when does what's his name die? The dude with the spear.
With the spear?
Yeah, it's from the mountain.
Mance Raider.
No, the dude with the spear from the mountain. Mountain kills him.
The dude from Dorne.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no. I know when.
That's what I was saying.
Dude
Like
from
season
Dorne.
5,
Yeah.
season 6,
No.
season
four.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the Prince guy?
Yeah, the nigga
Yeah.
that just fucks
Yeah,
everybody.
Tiger spoilers.
Yeah.
Huh?
That guy's going after the
Well,
mountain in the episode I'm in.
We're on
I mean,
season
like-
8. It's spoilers for you,
Yeah.
but not like for this.
Fair.
Not really a
Yeah,
spoiler,
for me.
though.
No, because I'm saying is because I feel like that's like a turning point that I feel that's like that is
I get that.
where it's a negative.
A lot of
That's
people
what
really
I'm
don't
saying.
like Danny being a Marine as well. I actually had no problems with Danny and Marine. A lot of people really thought that's when the plot like came to a standstill, and they're like, "Oh, it's focusing too much on Danny and Dario," and I actually like some parts in Marine. So people be tripping, but we're not tripping right now. That's the point. Right now, we're valid.
Why does every nation use the exact same like chains for their like slaves?
It's
Like
easy. It's cheap. It's some leather.
no,
and
I
rings.
felt
Yeah.
no. That's my thing is I felt like that was like
They probably
poor-
make them make that shit.
No, I think that was like
Yeah.
poor
Was
writing.
the chains off of the slaves that they took?
100%.
Could
It's
be
what
the-
that's what I'm
could be
saying.
the
But why?
cheapest,
Because I remember
material,
when
too.
It
the
definitely is. The
I remember
cheapest
when
thing
the
to
slaves all came out and they were
Leathers.
like they kept saying mother or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lisa.
and when they kept saying that, I was looking at their collars, and it was the same ones from the people that were just on there. And I was like, I just feel like that's fucking like poor writing. Like they couldn't like redesign a new like.
All right, well now we're being nitpicky.
No, I just thought it was weird because I was like, these neighboring countries, there's no way that they like do everything the same.
No.
All right, so speaking of things going
No,
down,
but they could have
oh.
traded slaves between each other, and so they had the same like.
So yeah,
True.
the
Got
slaves
it
all
from the
come
same
from one
spot.
bulk place. It's like Costco for slaves.
You mean Alabama?
So speaking of things going down,
awful.
you guys see this raccoon? This nigga was on a boat with a raccoon.
Raccoon eggs? What the fuck?
Oh no, we're not cooking on raccoon eggs. But you guys see this raccoon on a boat? This dude boated all the way out to I guess go fish
And there was a raccoon in the middle of the fucking.
on the boat.
Oh, it was on a boat.
Oh shit.
Get off my fucking boat! Yeah. What the f***'s wrong?
What's wrong with him?
Off my boat!
What?
It's a Florida man. He's like 20 miles out.
Goddamn coon.
Dude, get the gaff. We're just gonna have to push him.
Why? The kid's gonna die out there.
That's what I said, right?
He's not swimming 20 miles. He's like, you brought me out here. You gotta bring me
I'm
back.
saying, just
Fuck
turn
you.
the boat around.
What you mean? It's a raccoon.
He's chill. Aw, dude, he's chilling.
Here, put it in gear.
Help him back up.
So long, sucker!
Bitch ass nigga. So, people were really pissed at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the fuck didn't you just turn around? He was like, oh, he was hissing, growling at us.
No,
Did you hear that nigga hiss once?
No.
No.
I didn't hear him hiss once.
Even
He
so,
probably
like,
fell asleep, and he was probably like, "Ah, shit! Just hand him some food, show him that you're not a threat to him."
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
said-
"I'm
I
cool."
Continue.
was gonna say, like,
fishing.
put him in a box, leave him in the box, get off the boat, take him out of the box.
He said,
You obviously are
he
have
said the
food-
raccoon was preventing him from driving,
Who was it?
How?
from boating.
Was he got the fucking keys?
I feel like him saying that the raccoon was like stopping him from driving is one thing. Stopping him from boating makes him sound even more like a douchebag.
I want to see the fucking his response.
Stopped me from boating.
Go to the one on the right.
Berries.
What?
Click the video on the right. I
Are
want to
you
see
gonna
his
see?
response.
He's being investigated.
First, the FWC now investigating a confrontation at sea involving a raccoon. Good evening, everyone. I'm James.
Cool.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. Thanks for joining us. The Facebook video now going viral with many claiming animal cruelty.
ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee is live in Heather. The FWC.
What you gotta say,
is taking
Heather?
this seriously.
Always takes a look at
Jameson, yeah,
because they got the live
seriously.
feed,
They say they found out about it about 2 days ago when people started calling
My
in
favorite is
and
when they say
alerting them to
things.
the incident. They say
When
they
they're,
are
like, talking
well
when they
aware
go to
of
when they're
the
like,
video and now are
I didn't even know she
investigating.
could fit the whole thing in her mouth. Hey,
ABC News.
The video first posted to a Facebook group called Center Console Only.
Get off my boat!
It shows a boater getting
no
into a
land
confrontation
nowhere
with a raccoon on his boat 20 miles from shore. The original poster took down the video, but a man deeply concerned about what happens next screen recorded the video and shared it on his site.
Get off my boat.
It's inhumane. You know, who would do something like that?
Jeremy Ovitz saw the video when it was originally posted. The raccoon looks like it's trying to get away and eventually falls into the water.
Long sucker!
Fishing and conservation are supposed to go hand in hand.
Professional animal trapper Chris Wirth says raccoons can be dangerous under certain circumstances.
They can scratch you, they can bite you. They carry different things such as distemper, roundworm, and they are a rabies vector.
The boater behind the video, Clearwater Personal Injury
I
lawyer
felt like there was a
Thomas
butt
Cope,
about
is
to be said.
apologizing
You just
tonight.
cut him off.
Says the quote fully grown male
only
raccoon was
one person
hissing
here
and
dies from
growling,
raccoon
and he
rabies.
I
felt
literally
getting
was thinking to myself,
for safety
I wanted him to
reasons
say
was the
butt.
only
That's
way
not what was going to happen.
Of course
I'm
not.
serious when I
Of
say
course
that.
early to know
There's like
if
one
any
person a year
laws
dies
were
from raccoon
adopted.
rabies. It's not even a lot.
Says it's
Nothing.
too early to know if any laws
Now, the FWC is asking anyone with additional information
Too
about the
early to know.
incident
You
and
saw
about
what
that.
happened.
Please
Yeah,
contact
dude,
that could have been a
us. We want to
CGI
hear from
raccoon.
you. We have
That's a
posted
deep
their
fake.
ABC Action News.
I just had my buddy go out on a boat and film.
Live,
Get off my boat!
Get off my boat!
Get off!
Raccoons.
But like he
This is
realizes.
actually faked by Stanley Kubrick, just like the moon landing.
My whole thing is he knows how fucked what he did was because he
Yeah.
literally goes, "So long, sucker!" Like he knows that he just
Yeah.
killed this fucking raccoon.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't say that because he's like, "All right, see you later." Like
Yeah.
you got off my boat. Like nah, he's like, "Fuck
thanks,
you, you're
man.
about to die."
Nah.
Like he's
Bullshit,
like,
man.
"Peace."
What an asshole.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Dicks.
He's the true trash panda.
Dicks.
Since we're talking about trash people pandas, I want to talk about James, Charles, and Tati Westbrook.
I literally I thought you were gonna talk about the Asian lady, and I was like, "Oh, that's racist."
Oh my god.
Because you said trash panda.
Oh
No,
my god.
That's not. That wasn't. My transition was trash people pandas.
What does pandas have to do
Oh
with
my
We're talking about
gosh.
James Charles and Tati Westbrook. All right. Do you know who any of those people are?
No.
Do you know who
Yes.
any of those people are? I know you do.
We know this
Because we did this
situation.
podcast yesterday.
You know the situation
Well,
because I knew the situation.
She told me the situation originally. She told me like the first half of the situation, and then I found out the second half of the situation
And he
later,
informed me
and I told her about it, and then yeah.
I
So
had no female to tell me. I just saw it on social media.
Somebody
I
want
thought
to tell me
it
what's
was-
fucking
I
going
would have
on?
saw it as well because I saw
feel
it the
some
next
type of way.
morning.
Anybody
All
want to
right,
tell
so
me what the fuck is going
Basically,
on?
James Charles is a beauty guru. All right, he signed with CoverGirl when he was like 17.
Yes.
Right. So
He is a beauty guru.
what I say was.
He still got
Yeah, I
followers.
mean, yeah, he got 15 million
I
followers.
mean, he got
whatever.
canceled, but
Nah, he got like
saw
12
the
million
memes for this.
followers.
And it's
I
funny,
saw
so
the
whenever
memes for this.
people use numbers too, I always go to Instagram and I'm like, he still got 50. It's like,
Well, see, that's
no,
the
you gotta
thing.
go to YouTube.
but see that's
He was no this shit on YouTube.
Instagram didn't cancel him the way the YouTube did.
YouTube really
It did
canceled him.
cancel him a bit, but
Yeah,
nowhere
no,
near
he
as
lost
much.
like maybe 500,000 subscribers on Instagram. But so he basically was being mentored by Tati Westbrook, who has been in the game way longer than he has. She's like a YouTuber, a beauty guru, and she took the role as being his mentor, right? So she drops this video. It's like a 40-minute long video, and I saw it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. And then
Wait,
And I saw
he's
it.
his mentor, but he's so much more popular.
I saw that too because like she
Only,
has like
like, more
7 million
recently,
subscribers, and he had
really.
16 million.
Oh shit.
So like,
yeah, you
so
also-
like he was popping, and then she got onto him, and like he said that, or she said in the video that she actually helped him make more money through his contracts by like tweaking certain things. And I was trying to wonder like, what did she tweak? Like, was it just dumbass shit that he just wasn't doing? And I was like,
Yeah.
here's like
because he's like
more
17
money.
years
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I think she has a business degree, so I think that's where she
Okay,
like
fair.
approached everything. Because like when you're approaching something as like as a person, you've got people around you who are like, oh, this is, you know, what's best for you, versus like person who's a business person who's like, no, like
here's what you
like,
do.
First off, and then they pull out some shit out their ass where they're like, we got to incorporate yourself in Delaware so you pay no taxes, and then he like, what? But I live in California.
Like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
She
I got
hooked
you.
him up, and then like even to the point where she had a wedding, and she was like, I want you to come to my wedding, and then I want you to do my makeup, and then I'll pay you a little bit, but also
like, you know,
promotion.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
And they
That's
were like,
awesome.
They were close, and then she was like, can you promote this stuff for me as like hair supplements or whatever? And he was like, nah, my audience is kind of impressionable, so I kind of don't want to do that to him. And there have been like reports that he was also like advertising like sleeping pills.
No. So what he does after this happens, he makes an Instagram post with Instagram story on his, like a post on his Instagram story where he pulls out a bottle of these like
Sugar Bear hair.
Yeah, Sugar Bear hair care supplements for hair. And then he also goes and he pulls out a small bottle of sleeping pills and he goes, I've also been taking their sleeping pills, which are really great for sleep, blah blah blah, but he's promoting the hair pills over everything else. And the sleeping pills are equally as bad for children, but it's the hair pills that like that's what the whole thing is about. But they're at the same exact time.
I'm pretty sure it's not sleeping pills. They're like overnight hair supplements.
No, because they're two different. I'm pretty sure I saw his Instagram post. They're two different like medicines. They're two different vitamins. I'm pretty sure.
What's up?
What's up? No, you messed up my phone.
Right.
That's why I said cut. So I want to regroup.
And they really helped me and my friends out with sister security because it was crazy. You guys probably already know about their iconic hair vitamins, but they just came out with brand new vegan sleep vitamins. And first of all, they taste so bomb. So I've been taking these 30 minutes before bed, and they've been really, really helping. So if you guys want to check them out, you can swipe up.
Okay. So I thought that Sugar Bear Hair only did hair supplements, but here's the deal. What happened was Sugar Bear Hair gave him artist passes at Coachella Weekend 2 because he kept getting mobbed by fans in the VIP section. So they were like, yeah, we'll give you a few artist passes for you and your friends, but you got to do this for me. So it's not even like he was necessarily getting paid for the promotion.
I mean, he did.
I mean,
he got his VIP artist passes to Coachella.
I'm not saying that he didn't like get something in return, but what I'm saying is it's not like he had some kind of like entire like business contract to get paid and like under like
no, but still though that's like,
but here's what I'm saying, it's not like they were like, here's this thing, you owe us a favor, and then he was just like, oh okay. They were probably like, here, we'll give you this if you do a promotion for us.
So
he knows what they do.
He was texting a friend that worked with Sugar Bear Hair saying, can you try to find somebody who has artist passes because like we're in this tough spot.
Yeah, what I'm saying is he knows that he's going to have to do something for them. They're not going to be free, and it was probably established when he was given them what he had to have
it's
done.
Just kind of like you'll sell yourself out for tickets,
right?
Yeah, you won't even promote your friend's brand because she's a friend.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
So the first bit of cancel was Tati.
That was like a personal cancel. That's like, you were kind of shit to me, so I had to cut you out. The second part was him just being a shit person.
Yeah, and she kind of shed light on a little bit, but then it got backed up a lot by other people.
Like, yeah, go ahead. Say what you gotta say while my throat is dry as shit. So
so basically, she told stories about how he had made predatory comments about straight men, and he had made over-sexual comments, you know, during dinner parties at, like, a restaurant or something like that, about a waiter. And Tati goes on to say that she specifically told him, you know, he's straight, like, you know, you can't be saying these things, I guess, about him. And he was just, you know, trying to play it off, like, do you know who I am? Like, I can say whatever I want, blah, blah, blah.
Now, to be fair, in that one instance, the waiter ended up not being straight, but I watched his whole video, talked about how he was bi-curious.
Yeah,
they ended up like DMing, and eventually they hooked up, but then he said hit him up later. James was like, let me fly you out to Cali, and the waiter was like, listen, like, it was also funny too because during the video the waiter was like we hooked up, we kissed for an hour. James is like the worst kisser. And I was like, weird flex, but okay. So James is like, let me fly you out. And the waiter at this point is like, hey, listen, like, I was bi-curious at that point, but now I feel like I'm straight.
Right.
And I feel like it wouldn't be fair for you to fly me out without me telling you this. So I'll still come, but as a friend. And
right, if you want me to.
Kind of flipped on him. It was like, no, you're not. Like, you said you were this, and now you're that. Like, you're not straight.
He just...
And it's like...
No.
And we were talking about this yesterday.
Okay
regardless of whether or not he's straight or not, he just told you no. So there's that.
Like, he just rejected you regardless of his sexuality.
Yeah.
And if you argue that his sexuality is what it is, he still fucking rejected you. Like,
100%.
Take the L. Live with it.
Yeah, no is a no is a no.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and then people have been coming out too that are like straight and like, yeah, like James hit on me, or like I saw one on Snapchat where
so he's like a predator type.
You know what? Because I don't want to downplay it and say no.
What's the one?
But like,
what was the one on Snapchat?
I mean, it was just him hitting up. It was like a influencer or influencer's boyfriend. So it's like a famous. All right, they're famous to someone. A famous influencer.
Woman or
like,
man?
Girl.
What girl?
Woman.
And her boyfriend, it's like known they're together, and he was hitting on her, and it's like, what are you doing,
nigga?
Like, cause even on the one level, that's like me hitting on Will Smith, knowing he's got Jada. Like, he's not leaving Jada for me.
No, I mean, you know, Jada Pinkett is Jada Pinkett, so
exactly. I'm not
can't be her.
Jada. Set it off.
Can't be her. No, not at all.
So yeah.
Plus, she would probably come out guns a-blazing too.
What?
Just like I set it off. She try to steal her man? Come on.
Oh, her. I thought you said me.
I hear she's very territorial.
She's on the Red Table Talks like that. All right. So
she's great, bro.
James Charles lost 1.2 million subscribers on. Okay, 1,261,460. That rounds to 1.2.
What are you talking about?
That rounds to 1.2.
That rounds to 1.3.
1,261,460. That rounds to 1.2, right?
Yeah.
What?
That's 1.2 mil.
That's the number of subscribers he lost.
Well, if you're rounding to the second decimal place, or the first decimal place, is the second decimal place higher or lower than 5?
Yeah, alright, it's 1.3. Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah.
So he lost 1,200,000.
That's not the thing. If you're talking about the most that he lost,
subscribers.
He lost 1.36 million subscribers in a span of 24 hours.
1.26.
In a span of 24 hours. Not one day, in 24 hours.
Historic hemorrhage for YouTube.
Yeah. It's the most amount of subscribers any person's ever lost in
24-hour period.
PewDiePie and Logan Paul have lost a fraction of that too.
When Logan Paul went through his entire Suicide Forest thing, he only lost 80,000 subscribers.
When did PewDiePie lose viewers? What did he do?
Oh, he said the N-word one time.
I didn't even laugh. Is he from like Sweden?
Yeah.
They got the N-word.
Can't say that, man.
So he's in an H1Z1 battle on the bridge, and he loses, and he goes, "You fucking," and then he said,
Pewdie.
Yeah.
Pewdie, no.
And like the chat was just like.
So, I was also reading, before we leave this whole subject, I saw this article just per chance, and I had to talk about it. I don't even know if I believed it. The article wasn't convincing. Maybe it was.
Did I hit that?
Yeah.
Word. Said it first.
You probably got camera proof of it.
Word, I believe you.
Roll it back.
But yeah, so I was reading an article that went on BuzzFeed, and it was talking about how Tati's video maybe gave off like homophobic type feels, because I might have felt like she was also trying to be like, I don't know, like the article was very flimsy, but I felt like I had to bring that up just too, because I didn't watch the 40-minute video, so I can't say whether or not it did or not.
Yeah, I mean,
from what I saw, from like the points at which she was, I honestly see it as like this too, is even though he's gay, he still probably has like pretty manly sexual like advances. You know what I mean? Like he probably thinks like, you know how guys say things to girls and girls don't like catcall guys. He probably has that same mentality.
I mean, he's literally on camera so many times talking about how like straight guys are more of a challenge for him.
But what I'm saying is like he probably still has those outward sexual advances
like
towards
being,
people,
lesbians
and like
are more of a challenge for me. It's like, what the fuck? What? That's not even a thing.
No, nigga. Excuse me.
Me playing basketball. Yeah, trying dunks more of a challenge for me. What?
No,
Missouri Senate passed bill to ban abortions at 8 weeks.
What state?
Missouri.
This is southern states. They trying to secede again.
Missouri is like Midwest.
Yeah.
Missouri is above Oklahoma.
Come on, you remember Tom Sawyer?
No.
You don't know
I don't remember Tom Sawyer.
It's the Mississippi rivers that it's fucking. Oh, Georgia's nowhere near Mississippi.
So, speaking
Missouri
of pieces
is.
of shit.
Yeah, I was going to say Missouri and Alabama are.
Speaking of pieces of shit that basically lost everything, I want to talk about this DC Metro incident. So basically, we had a DC driver, right? DC bus driver on the train.
Yeah.
Bus driver or train driver?
Bus driver. I looked it up as a bus driver.
So she's a bus driver, but she's on the train. She's whipping the train around.
No.
She's on the train.
No, she's on the train, and the train's going. All right, so
yeah, she's on the train.
She's on the train, and because of like work schedules and traffic, she's eating her lunch now instead of having to eat her lunch on the bus and make the people wait.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Well, I mean, the train's probably taking her to where the bus is.
Yeah.
And then she's eating her lunch,
But
gets
so
there,
it's
and does that bus route.
Which is fair, which is what she does.
Yeah.
But what it's supposed to be is that she's supposed to have time to eat inside of her bus before her route starts.
Yeah.
But because of traffic, the way it's lining up is that she has to eat before she gets in the bus.
Right.
So the people don't have to wait for the bus.
Right.
You know? So an author sees this. Natasha Tynes sees this, right? And she's like, why are you eating? We're not allowed to eat on the train. She takes a picture and she sends it to like DC Metro's Twitter and like another Twitter that's supposed to answer questions for DC Metro.
Yeah.
Trying to get her fired. And then she does what people do when they tweet dumb shit. Quick, sit down, go about my day.
Yeah.
Go about my stupid ass day.
Yeah.
Picks up her phone and Twitter tore her apart. They were like,
because that's a
one,
dick move.
Leave her alone. She had her job. Two,
right.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Seriously.
Three, you put homegirl's picture up on the internet like that?
Why? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
Was
like,
she,
who
like,
does
mid-bike
shit like
too?
that? Yeah.
I didn't even look at the picture.
Yeah.
But probably.
Regardless.
And you know what the fucked up part is? Or not fucked up part. The great part is that she had a book deal. Nice. And that publishing company was like, nah.
Cut it.
It was her debut book.
She fucked it. Because she's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Who does that, man? Why are you criticizing somebody for
Let her
taking
eat.
the time out of their day to fucking eat their lunch, man? Let them sit down and enjoy their meal,
And
man.
also the excuse is you're not supposed to eat on the train.
Nigga.
You fucking
fuck
normie
off.
ass fucking
We're in the
rule
middle of
suck,
DC.
like-
I can do what the fuck I want, man. Get out.
Like, just don't shoot people.
Literally.
Eat on the fucking
Literally,
train.
no one's
Just
gonna
don't shoot
fucking.
people.
What? You think a cop's gonna come by and be like, hey, oh, wow. You can't eat on the train. Oh, sorry, officer. I don't have time to do that before work.
Plus, if there's any person who can eat on the fucking train,
It's
probably
a
it's
fucking
a fucking
employee.
DC
Get the
Metro
fuck outta
fucking
here, man.
employee.
Yeah.
Literally, who the fuck do you think you are?
It's so disappointing.
Ah, man, and it sucks being from DC too, man, because I know they're assholes.
Homeless
like
people,
that doing
cops,
that.
and DC Metro employees are the only people who can eat on fucking
Seriously,
Metro.
man,
Apparently,
seriously. My gosh, who is?
So,
oh my god, who the fuck is that?
Since we're speaking about, you know, it sucks too, because I was going to say racist, ignorant people. I'll just say ignorant, because she's a person of color, but it still is unfortunate.
Ignorant.
Yeah, so speaking of ignorant people, I want to talk about this racist prom proposal. And I forget, it goes...
make that picture bigger.
I just went to the article and then opened the tweet. That's what
Yeah, but I bet you there was a way to make the picture bigger,
No,
Grandpa.
there isn't.
He said, "Grandpa." Wait, nigga. Okay, yes. And we said we're all grandpas with the phone. Actually, since we're talking about this real quick, Bill Gates is the only old nigga that's not gonna have to ask the kids for help on the computer.
Are you kidding me?
It's probably the other way around. And not the. I know he's not the only person. Mad IT departments be old ass. But so this tweet goes, Bianca, you're a racist, and I would give anything for you to go to prom with me. And it spells out the NIG. You see it.
I'm watching.
It's not really blurred out on the tweet.
I'm looking
oh
at
God.
Why?
She said too.
Of course she did, man, because she's racist. Oh my gosh.
Where's it from? What part of California?
Southern California.
It's fucking. It's just ridiculous.
My dad used to live in a pretty racist part of San Diego called
That
San
is.
See, remember when I said I was trying to think of a place that don't have racist people, and I was like, anywhere in America, I could probably find some racist people.
Yeah, anywhere.
You was like Portland. I was like, probably
Portland.
up there. Washington, probably up there.
Definitely.
I said Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, definitely.
Austin, Texas.
Somebody definitely called Dane the N-word in Portland once.
Listen.
A couple times.
Yes.
It's besides the point.
See what I mean about eliminating audiences?
All right, fine. The North Pole, the South Pole.
Come on, you don't think some of Santa L's racist?
Like 30% of Alaska that isn't populated by humans. There's only bears up there.
So you mean no man's land?
The DMZ in Korea.
Korea's racist.
No, the DMZ.
Right,
there ain't no people there.
What's that? The Sahara Desert.
The Sahara Desert.
Yeah,
the middle of the ocean.
The Moby Desert.
Atlantis.
Gobi Desert. I mean,
the lost city of
Atlantis.
Atlantis.
All right, so
where the Titanic at the bottom of the.
Yeah, that's what I say. The Titanic ballroom.
All right. So, since we're talking about traumatic and mildly traumatic things, do you guys know Mortal Kombat 11 dropped?
No.
What?
All right, this game is crazy, right? So basically, like you know how in Mortal Kombat you get like the body box niggas,
yeah,
and you get the finisher, and it's like a really graphic move.
Nah, I could never get past level 1 because Scorpion's a fucking ass.
All right, well, say you know. So this new Mortal Kombat,
nah, I say we did.
Basically, every move is a super move where they're like blowing up faces and chopping off necks and like exploding bellies, and then like they get up and they fight and they're so ready to go. I'm like, what? But
fuck yeah,
it's so fucking crazy.
That's great. That's great. It's on just PlayStation.
It's on all the systems.
Word.
Developers though are probably they got PTSD from making this game.
Wow.
So they were basically like looking up videos of how things, you know, explode and get cut, and they were looking at like videos of cows being eviscerated and videos of people being hung and like all this fucked up shit. And one anonymous developer was like, yo, like I literally can't even look at my dog without seeing his intestines on the floor.
Damn.
I was like
the animation for that shit must be nuts.
And like the people in charge of developers didn't care, and they're coming in and they're like, you know, that snap of the neck doesn't sound too realistic. You gotta make it like that. Like,
what, nigga?
Like,
so I played a mobile version of Mortal Kombat X, and the finishing moves in that game, they would it's enough to like animate like all these things happening to somebody, but the finishing moves, they would zoom in on the person that it was happening to, and they'd do like an X-ray through their skin, and you'd see like all their organs and their bones and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was on the phone, so I'm saying like that was super realistic on a phone. Imagine that, like 5 years later on a big ass TV, like, and VR too, because they do the fucking shit in VR.
Dude, like, I don't know. People are actually getting diagnosed with PTSD. It's a small group, and they're all staying anonymous. But, like, damn. For a game. For a video
seriously,
game.
man.
I guess we gotta fucking play it then.
Yeah.
Get it.
Definitely.
Niggas put their sweat and tears.
I was about to say they put their PTSD in
You're scared of shit, man.
I can't do no more. I don't want to see another.
What am I gonna do?
Oh my god, these niggas, they be on Reddit too much. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk about. Have you guys heard of the true story of The Little Mermaid?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. So, I told him yesterday.
Of course you did.
And then, I assume you know, so if I say something wrong, definitely chime in.
Okay. This is the original Hans Christian Andersen story?
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
Because this shit is a trip. I heard about it a while ago, and then I was doing an episode of Unpack That Bowl about the worst Disney lessons, which I'm going to plug that.
Yeah.
And
me.
And I remember this story, and I was like, all right, this is weird. So it's basically like, it kind of starts the same. There's a mermaid named Ariel. She got a kingdom underwater, and she has like 3 sisters. And when they get to a certain age, they can go above the water, and they can see what's up there. Yeah. And so her sisters go up, and they're like, yo, what's popping up there? Like, you can't wait till you see it. And then it's her turn, and she goes up, and she sees the prince. And when the Little Mermaid's turn comes, she sees a handsome prince and falls in love with him from a safe distance. The Little Mermaid saves the prince from drowning. She delivers him unconscious to the shore near a temple. Here, she waits until a young woman from the temple and her ladies are waiting to find him. To her dismay, the prince never sees the Little Mermaid or even realizes that it was she who originally saved his life. So, yeah.
And then she has to tell me.
And she gotta make the deal with the devil.
Can I just read off this?
Yeah.
Alright, so. The Little Mermaid becomes melancholic and asks her grandmother if humans can live forever. Oh, I did skip over this part too, because I said this yesterday to you. The grandmother explains that humans have a much shorter lifespan than the mermaids, 300 years. but that mermaids die, they turn into sea foam and cease to exist, while humans have eternal souls that live on in heaven. The Little Mermaid, longing for the prince and eternal soul, visit the sea witch in a dangerous part of the ocean. The witch willingly helps her by selling a potion that gives her legs in exchange for her tongue and beautiful voice, because she could sing, her voice was popping.
Under the sea.
That's exactly what Ariel sounds like.
Okay. The little... Wait, there, I feel like I'm in school. The witch warns the Little Mermaid that once she becomes a human, she will never be able to return to the sea. Consuming the potion will make her feel as if a sword is being passed through her body. Damn. Yet when she recovers, she will have 2 human legs and be able to dance like no human has ever danced before. However, she will constantly feel as if she is walking on sharp knives, and her feet will bleed terribly. In addition, she will obtain a soul only if she wins the love of the prince and marries him.
Wait.
For then, a part of her soul will flow into her.
Pause.
Okay.
So, her feet feel like knives are going through it, yet they bleed?
And they bleed.
So they just bleed
constantly?
Like, hey, don't, I didn't
every
write
time
this.
she walks, whenever she uses her feet, she is just gushing
But how
blood.
does she dance?
Yeah.
If it hurt, is she just
is
doing
she
a
bleeding?
robot?
Like,
Nah,
what's going on?
All right.
She's like, nah, I'm gonna sit down.
When she starts to dance, the pain like goes away.
She just get really drunk.
So maybe like the only thing that stops it.
Push it down with some brown. So, otherwise at dawn on the first day, after he marries someone else, the Little Mermaid would die with a broken heart and dissolve in the sea foams and pond the waves.
Damn. So if he marries somebody else, she gonna die.
She out of here.
Bye.
She out of here.
Bye.
After she agrees to the arrangement, the Little Mermaid swims to the surface near the prince's palace and drinks the potion.
No.
The prince finds her. He's memorized by her beauty and grace, and even though she's mute, most of all, he likes to see her dance, and she dances for him despite suffering excruciating pain with every step. So she feels it all.
Yeah,
damn,
it's fucked, man.
Soon
but she likes dancing.
She likes him. I think. Soon.
I mean, like, what kind of dancing are we talking about?
She hitting the mariachi. Was that video yet?
I mean, like, I feel like there's a big flaw in this story. She could have just waited up by the shore and been like, yo, Prince, I was actually the one who saved you. I'm about to go make this deal where I turn from a 300-year-old seafoam mermaid into a human.
I love
Once
you.
that happens, I'm not going to be able to talk. My feet are going to hurt like shit, and I'm going to be able to dance like crazy.
You think that's not a little forward?
What?
No, man.
No.
No. He saved her.
If it was meant
She
to be,
saved
it's
him.
meant to be. If not, she goes back to her life as a mermaid. She can always retake that deal whenever she wants. Another prince will come around. She can live for 300 years.
She'll be alright.
Fuck the humans.
Okay. So soon the Little Mermaid becomes the prince's favorite companion, and she accompanies him to many outings. He goes on to say that he can only love the young woman from the temple, who he believes rescued him. It turns out that the princess from the neighboring kingdom is the temple girl, as she was sent to the temple for her education. The prince declares his love for her, and the royal wedding is announced. So the mermaid sister pop up, and they're like, yo, we have this knife that we got from the witch. They give the knife to Little Mermaid. She despairs, thinking of the death that awaits her, but before dawn, her sisters rise out of the water and bring her a knife that the sea witch has given them, in exchange for their long, beautiful hair. So now they're bald like me.
Damn.
Because they love her, their sister. They're like, yo, fuck these humans, come be with us.
Yeah, we got you.
If Little Mermaid kills the prince and let his blood drip by her feet, she will become a mermaid once more. All of her suffering will end, and she will live out her life full in the ocean with her family. However,
she doesn't.
The Little Mermaid cannot bring herself to kill the sleeping prince, lying next to his new bride. She throws a knife and herself off the ship into the water just as dawn breaks. Her body dissolves in the sea foam, but instead of ceasing to exist, she feels the warm sun and discovers that she is turned into a luminous and ethereal earthbound spirit, a daughter of air. As the Little Mermaid ascends into the atmosphere, she is greeted by the daughters who tell her that she has become like them because she strove with all of her heart to obtain an immortal soul. Because of her selflessness, She is given the chance to earn her own soul by doing good deeds for mankind for 300 years.
Holy shit.
And will one day rise up into the kingdom of God.
Holy shit.
So what's the lesson in all that?
Make a deal with the devil. It's not going to pan out, but
some shit might happen.
If you kill yourself, God'll let you come back.
In 300 years.
300 years.
300 years of community service later.
What if good deeds?
Oh my gosh.
Don't start
good
that
deeds
fire.
don't exist.
What are you doing, guys?
What you mean?
Oh god. Alright. So. Damn.
Fuck James Charles.
Fuck James Charles.
Fuck James Charles. Alright. Is there anything you guys want to say, you want to promote, you want to throw out there before we hang up?
Nah, I'm all good.
Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah. That's a callback to something that doesn't exist. Alright, guys.
Stop being an asshole.
End racism.
End racism. End ignorance.
All the shits. Alright, guys. I'm Cliff. These have been you guys.
Niggas.
Take your cue. Niggas. You guys have been the niggas. Thanks for listening, guys. This has been Higher Education's podcast.
What was with the dramatic pause?
He's like, I don't know what this is.
Did you hold your breath?